Kandia with Kandia Haynesworth Designs, and thank you so much for joining in today. We are going to be personalizing a car charger, and yes, this is a perfect stocking stuffer for Christmas. It makes a wonderful thank you gift. It makes a wonderful thinking about you gift, birthday gift. I just absolutely love it. And so today we are going to be personalizing this using my Cricut Maker. I absolutely love my Cricut Maker. As you all see that I am constantly doing videos on this ways to use your HTV with your Cricut Maker, and I came up with this idea when I went shopping at the Dollar Tree for items specifically in search of what can I use to personalize it. And I wanted to do something other than, you know, the bins or the mugs or the plates. Everyone's doing that. And so when I walked around the store a couple of times, I saw this and I absolutely had to try it. And so one of the things I want to point out is with this car charger, this is where the area where the personalization is going. At least that's where I'm putting it. And so this area, I want to point out that this area is less than, that's right, I said less than an inch in height, okay? And so it actually measures out to be 3/4 of an inch. So your personalization must fit in this area, okay? So that means that it have to be just as high, which is 3/4 of an inch, which is cutting it close, or it has to be smaller. So join me in Cricut Design Space, and then I will meet you over back at the Cricut Maker to to cut and then weed and then press on to this car charger. We are not using a heat press today. We will be using a home iron. And now these home irons are not expensive. These are home irons that I have in my studio. These are for my sewing students, which are children generally. And so I bought these on Black Friday, and these irons were less than $5. So I want to just tell you that I have no fancy smancy here, okay? And so I want you to just sit back and just let your wheels start turning, because this is the ultimate Christmas gift. Okay, so the car charger itself, the area that we are going to be personalizing is less than 1 inch in height, okay? So it really measures down to about 3/4 of an inch. And so for me, I am just focusing on the Kandia. I need that to be less than an inch. I need it to be less than 3/4 of an inch. So I'm already in the Cricut Design Space. What I'm going to do is unlock it. And then this way I can kind of shrink it and, you know, move it around to where I need it to be. And once again, I'm just focusing on the Kandia in this logo or in this design. I don't care about my website. I don't care about my last name or my telephone number or even the designs part, because it's going to be way too small for the machine to cut it out. And so when you are doing this project, you won't have this, this issue that I have with the website and the last name and the telephone number, but you do want to focus on the size that you are making your personalization. And once again, the area itself is going to be 3/4 of an inch high. So your personalization needs to be less than that. And so we are going to make it, let's say, a 1/2 inch maybe, or even a little bit more than a 1/2 inch, but it shouldn't be more than that, okay? And so I'm just gonna shrink it down just a little bit more. And okay, so if this is an inch and this is a 1/2 inch and this is 3/4 of an inch, I am good to go. Okay, and so now I am going to click on Make It, and I am going to click on Flip. And so I hope that this don't prove to be too small. I am going to attempt to move this around just a little bit, but I think I am at the limit of where it can be at. But I am still within, you know, those 3/4 of an inch if you kind of look at where the Kandia is hitting, and I am still safe. And so I will meet you over at the Cricut Maker, and we will begin our cut. Okay, so we are at the Cricut Maker, and I have already loaded the mat. The design is all ready to go, and all I have to do is press that flashing button, that Cricut icon, and it is going to scan the mat, and it's going to begin cutting the design. And for those of you who have not heard, I've partnered up with Cricut, and I have a 10% off coupon for you. If you purchase the Cricut Access, you can get 10% off the Cricut Maker. However, this offer does expire August 7th, 2018. So if you have not invested in a Cricut maker, now is the time to do it. Because Cricut makers generally cost about $399, and with the 10% off, you are going to save about $39.99, which is close to a $40 savings, okay? And so that is a good deal. And so, once again, you just have to purchase the Cricut Access, which gives you access to their designs and so forth. They have 3 levels of the tier plans that you can look and see, you know, which one works for you. And also, once again, you get that 10% off. If you purchase the Cricut Access, you get the 10% off of the Cricut Maker. But another thing I wanted to tell you is I have another coupon for a buy one, get one 50% off at Cricut. And so I will post both of the links down below. You should copy and paste them into your browser if you are unable to click on them. These offers do expire August 7th, 2018, and I am paid to endorse their products. So clicking the link or copy and pasting them does help me out some. All right, and I appreciate that. And so it is in the process of cutting that little tiny logo of mine out. And because I guess the letters are so small, I probably should have interrupted it, but that's okay. I'm just going to cut it off. And as you can see, I am also using another piece of scrap. And so this is another good idea of what to do with your scrap. I am doing a series on what to do with your HTV scrap. But today we are going to call this the personalized car charger because I like that title better. All right, and so I'm going to let us do a thing, and then I will meet you over at my weeding table. Okay, so I didn't even make it to my weeding table. I'm just going to just weed it. Okay, so as you can see, I have cut out the excess, which is more scrap that I will be using on another project. And as you can see, we have this design which is left on the heat transfer and the carrier sheet plus the mat, and it's only about 1.5 inches wide. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to weed it like regularly, you know, separating it from the carrier sheet. And I'm just going to be focused on the Kandia. I don't care about the letters or the other personalization like my telephone number and stuff like that. The only thing I care about is my name because that is what's going on the car charger. All right, and so far it looks really good. So the only thing I'm going to do now is take this off of the mat like so, and then I'm just going to trim around it. And then we're not going to use, actually I got to get that D. I didn't see that D. We're not going to use a heat press for this. We're going to use an iron, a regular home iron. I mean, I have irons in my studio because I also teach sewing lessons. So at any given point, there's about maybe 6 or 7 irons here. And so that's what we are going to be using today. So I just want you to see how this looks. Wait, I got to get on camera. So we're just going to be cutting the trim around, making this smaller so it can fit onto the car charger. And I will meet you over at the heating press station where the iron is. Okay, and so I have cut out and weeded my personalization, and I am using red. I probably should have used white, but I am using red. The inside of my car is red, so I thought that this would be kind of jazzy, but I should have used white. Anyhow, I am just going to, now I will tell you, ideally, you want to make sure that your surface is clean, okay? And sometimes it can have little dust particles on it, so you want to check for that. This one was wiped down, but I'm just kind of just making sure that it is okay. And I am just going to put this like right here so I can see it. Can you see that? Can you see that? I hope you can see that. I can see that. All right, and so I'm just going to reposition it. Actually, I could have actually made this a little bit bigger. I didn't realize. I was so focused on making sure that it was within the 3/4 of an inch that I just didn't realize. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to use heat transfer tape just to hold it down. Now, even though this is not going under the heat press, I just want to make sure that it doesn't pop up on me, and I need to use tape that can withstand the heat, and the heat transfer tape is actually made for that. So you cannot use Scotch tape. Now I hope I am in focus. Let me just make sure, because I'm not able to look at both. All right, and so I'm going to just place my heat transfer tape on this side and just press. Okay, and so I got heat transfer tape here, I got heat transfer tape here. Okay, and so once again, we are not using the heat press for this. Okay, and so we are going to be using a regular standard home iron. Okay, and this is not one of those fancy smancy irons. This is a very inexpensive iron. As a matter of fact, I got these irons on Black Friday. They were at Kmart, as a matter of fact, and they were on sale for $3. It was one of those things that they were only selling it from like 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock or something like that, and I was one of those people that were there, and I bought like 6 of them for my studio. And so yeah, you see how that is? We're just going to take the iron and we're just going to go over it with the tip of the iron. The iron does not have any water in it, so there is no steam, and it is set to the highest level. And for this one, it happens to be the cotton linen setting. And so I'm just going to take it. Now you do still want to watch your hands, because you know you can get burned by iron too. And I'm not using gloves for this because I'm sure that I'm going to be careful. All right, and I'm just going to just press and pat press. So I'm not actually smearing it, I'm just actually lifting it. And you can actually use an egg timer if you are worried about time. And this card charger came from the Dollar Tree. And guess what else? They also sell egg timers or cooking timers at the Dollar Tree as well. And so you can actually have that in your station if you are concerned about time in regards to this particular project. Right? And you know what else? I'm not even using one of those little Teflon sheets, because I am just directly applying the heat here. And I think that I will be okay. And the best part about this is these little card chargers come in all colors, okay? And obviously you can make your font into a more feminine font or a more masculine font. Whichever way that you are wanting to go with this idea, you can make it work. And so I'm just going to press a little bit more. I'm leaving the iron on it about every 3 seconds. I am moving it. And so I think that it should be okay. So ideally, this would have been about 15 minutes. Let me just put the iron over here so I don't get burned. And now I'm just going to just kind of pat it just to see. And now I'm just going to reveal it. And let's see if it works, because it might not work. And if it don't work, then guess what? I'll let you guys know that it didn't work. So don't do it. So let's see. Well, look at that. I see some of the glue. I don't know how the glue got there. See it? Oh. No, I don't like the way that looks. Okay, so hold on a second. Maybe, hold on. Let's see if this passed or failed. This failed. Okay. You know why it failed? I don't know if it's because my letters are too thin, but the glue, I'm trying to get it so you can see, because I want to be fair. The glue is all in between my name. Okay, and so I'm not saying that this won't work. It just didn't work for me. And so what I'm thinking is I could try it again on this side and see if maybe I don't do the heat applying method the way that I did, if it will come out better. So I'll try that and see if it works out. Okay, because overall, I got to tell you, this thing, the heat transfer vinyl is applied up here very nicely. It's very smooth, and it is applied properly. So this wouldn't come off. It's just presented well. No, it's not. It's not presented well because of the glue. So if someone could figure out how to get this project done without the glue being smeared, then I would say that it would be a success story. I just didn't do that with this, and this was a real test. This was the first time I ever did this, and so there's no bull crapping, you guys, here. It either works or it don't. And in this case, I would say no, I can't give this a passing grade, because if this was a real idea for a gift, there's no way I would give this. Okay, and so that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions, guys, you know I'm always open for suggestions. If you have any suggestions, please put it in the comments below. I am more than willing to try this again. And if I happen to do it again and it comes out well, I will do a follow-up video. But as of now, this does not get a passing score, guys. Sorry. That's all I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can always come and visit me on Facebook at KandiaHaynesworth.com. You can come and visit me on Instagram at Kandia Haynesworth. And I also have a new group called Dollar Tree Money Makers, where this product will be featured. And I will just talk about it a little bit more on what happened. And if you want to join me in on that discussion, please meet me over there and you will see the post. And once again, it is called Dollar Tree Money Makers, and it is a new group on Facebook that I am hosting. There is no criteria that you have to meet, so just apply to get in, and you know, tell me you want to join and I'll let you in. It's no questions or anything like that. Okay, until then, I'll see you next time. Okay, so I am back in Cricut Design Space because I had to try this over. I really didn't want to give this a failing grade, especially if it was something that I was doing to cause this to fail. And once I reviewed the video footage, I saw that at the beginning of the video, I rotated the car charger some when I had first began to apply the heat. And I'm thinking maybe that have caused the glue to ooze out from underneath the HTV, and maybe that proved it to be unsuccessful. And so I am using a different font. Now this is a built-in font that is built in Cricut Design Space, and it is called Belega STD Regular. Okay, and as you can see, it has that impact feel. Those of you who are familiar with the Cricut Design Space fonts know that that is one of the amongst the favorite fonts that people like in the Cricut Design Space. This has a little bit of curve to it, so I like it. And I'm going to head over to the Make It, and then I am going to head over to the Matte, put this in reverse or flipped or mirrored, and then I'm going to head over to the Cricut Maker. And so by the time we meet up again, I will have it weeded out, cut out, applied to the car charger, and ready to be pressed with the heat. Now this time I'm going to use a pat and press method opposed to rotating it or doing anything that can cause this to be unsuccessful. So once again, I will meet you over at the heat press station where we... Okay, so I have used a different font, and as you can see, I have it in that white. That's probably what I should have had it in the first place. And I am just going to pat and press, pat and press. Gotta watch my fingers so I don't get burned. And then I'm just going to do this about rounds of about 3 or 4 times, and then I'm just going to pull off and reveal. Okay, so I think that this has failed. Okay, and so I've tried it again. I used a different font. As you can see, I used a different HTV as well. I used the glitter HTV, and what it seemed like happened is that it started to melt. I was very careful. I don't know if I applied too much pressure or what, but it failed.